All right, so take about another minute to get logged in and update your little avatar. Yo. I am zooming the class, so it's the same Zoom link we normally use. Yep. Okay, so if for some reason while we are Kahooting today, you get kicked out or logged out or something, the little game pin will show up down here at the bottom of the screen for you to see. Make sure you've used the name that I know that you go by so that I can give you some kind of bonus points for your wonderful participation today. It does not matter what place you come in, it matters how many questions you get right. That will determine the bonus points that you get. And if you're in accounting too, you know those bonus points are super helpful. What? What? What did he just say? He's killing me today. All right, we're gonna get started. We got 36 questions. Here we go. When a customer's expectations are not met, you'll be more successful rebuilding the long-term relationship if you send a letter, delay responding, call the customer or schedule a meeting, or have your supervisor contact the customer. How are we going to rebuild those long-term relationships? Again, some of these questions are the same that ones that are on your exam, call the customer or schedule a meeting. Some of them are like ones on your exam. Some of them I just threw in there because I think they're fun. Trent is in first place. Someone better knock him down. I'm just kidding. True or false? Compound sentences contain one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. That is false. Those are complex sentences. You will need to know some of those vocabulary things. Blank, scan the web for comments about the company. Is it interns, scanners, aggregators, or geolocators? Interns. Let's make our interns scan for content. Common. They're aggregators.
Should know scanners is too obvious.
Yeah, it's not just scanners. That would be too easy. True or false? A cliche is an expression that has become trite through overuse. That is true. Good job, guys. Jamie is on fire. Good job, Jamie. If you include sales promotions in a reply, you should put it at the end of the friendly closing, make it brief and subtle, provide a great deal of detail for persuasive purposes. Holy moly. Or put it in the first paragraph. Can't talk today. I haven't had coffee yet today. Make it brief and subtle. Up 9, Karis is climbing. Got Evan up there in first. Is that cow with a crown on?
I think so.
That's awesome. True or false? Slang is an informal expression, often short-lived, that is identified with a specific group of people. That's true. No change on that. Good job, guys. True or false? You should start with a start a request with the main idea. You should start a request with the main idea. That is true. True or false? Neutral messages can be appropriate for readers inside and outside the organization. Neutral messages. That's true. That was quick. 10 players have answer streaks of 5. Good job. Mechanics include all of the following except content, punctuation, number expression, or abbreviations, which is not a part of mechanics of writing. One of those things is not like the others. Content, our content is just content. Mechanics is more grammar-y. Your cow looks sad.
He is. They change when you lose your spot.
That's crazy. In an active sentence, the subject performs the action. The subject is the receiver of the action. The verb tense describes the doer, or the subject is subordinated to the action. Subject performs the action. Active action. I didn't realize the little avatars got sad when he put it down. When sending an instant message, you should mention the current time and date, get to the point quickly, emphasize any common goals, or use many emoticons / emojis / gifs. Get to the point quickly. Glad no one picked the use many emoticons one. True or false? Elements of written communication, such as spelling, abbreviations, and punctuation, are known as mechanics. Sound familiar? Job. I literally don't have the capability to do that. But if I did, I would. True or false? When all of your sentences work together to develop a single idea, the result is coherence. Is it true? True or false? A request letter does not need to contain background information for the reader. It's false. I give that background info. The process of persuasion begins with telling the reader what to do. Excuse me, expecting your audience to understand your idea, analyzing the reader, or offering a discount on a product or service. How do we begin the process of persuasion? Analyzing our reader. Messages sent out of a sense of kindness are cliche, redundant, goodwill messages, or bad news messages. Definitely. Goodwill messages. Everybody got that right. True or false? IMs are short, quick, and once sent are gone forever. Instant messages are short, quick, and once sent are gone forever. That's false. They're short and quick, but you can retrieve those or they can be looked up by the IT department. True or false, a writer using the phrase thinking outside the box would be admired for fresh, original thinking. That is false. That's not fresh, original thinking. That's pretty cliche there.
Good job, Charlie. Same problem.
I like the pancakes on your head there, Charlie. True or false, when you use parallelism, you match infinitives with infinitives and nouns with nouns. Parallelism. A hard word for me to say. That is true. Good job. Jamie has an answer streak of 19. That's awesome. Blank is often overused in organizations. Email, face-to-face conversation, cell phones, or text messaging. What do we overuse in organizations? What do you get 1,000,000 of a day? Email. True or false? In a reply, avoid answering a reader's question if the answer is not what the reader wants to know. Avoid answering a reader's question. The answer is not what the reader wants to know. That is false. We need to answer those questions. Which of the following does not contribute to creating interest and justifying your position in a persuasive message? Specific details, obvious flattery, logical appeals, or objectivity. Objectivity means facts. You should know. Subjectivity would be more opinion. I don't know why it took me like 10 years to remember that too. Obvious flattery. That's not what we want to do. Oh, that's a happy cheeseburger with a crown on it. True or false? A passive sentence is usually shorter than an active sentence. Passive sentence is usually shorter than an active sentence. That is false. Passive sentences usually have more description in them that modify the verb in there. True or false? Effective communicators avoid slang in business writing because it does not represent standard word usage. Do we avoid slang in the business writing? That's true. Everyone got that. Good job. Number 25, your message is inaccurate if you take care with the mechanics, include the who, what, when, where, and why, omit something important that readers should know, or truthfully present the facts. What makes our message inaccurate? Job. True or false? Any message that omits key information is not accurate. I put these on randomized. These questions were not right next to each other when I wrote this. In fact, this would have been like the very first one. That's true. Good job. True or false? One goal of communicating bad news is to maintain a goodwill relationship. One goal of communicating that bad news is to maintain goodwill. That's true. Everyone got that. True or false? Email is the best medium for firing an employee that works in the same office building as you. This is how Jacob would fire Trent. That's what I think. That's false. We'll fire Trent with a text message.
I just sent back no emoji. You know what emoji I'm talking about.
True or false? Tone is how an idea is expressed. Tone is how an idea is expressed.
We won't make
It's false. Style. Style is how your idea is expressed.
That's like cliche.
When writing a persuasive message, you must flatter the reader to get his or her attention, tell the reader you are right and no one else is, motivate the reader, overwhelm the reader with statistics. Motivate the reader.
What?
Gotta motivate them. Which of the following is not part of a neutral message? Explanation and details, a friendly closing, a major idea, a complaint. What's not part of a neutral message? A complaint. We don't complain in neutral messages. Otherwise, they wouldn't be neutral. True or false? The three basic sentence types are compound, complex, complex, and simple. That's false. Compound, complex does not exist. It's just compound. The pancakes are back in the game. True or false? The final paragraph of a request should not take the reader's cooperation for granted. Final paragraph should not take the reader's cooperation for granted. That is true. We don't want to take their cooperation for granted. Evan is making a comeback. The final paragraph of a request should not offer to reciprocate, show appreciation for the assistance to be provided, sound friendly and positive, or take the reader's cooperation for granted. I cannot talk today. Holy moly. Again, we're not taking the reader's cooperation for granted. Those were also not right next to each other. One of it. All right, number 35, true or false? You can begin a request with a direct question, statement, or polite explanation. That is true. Good job, everybody. Last question. The phrase there is an example of jargon, an expletive, a buzzword, a hidden verb. An expletive. So an expletive is where we have a word like there or it's, and there's nothing that there is describing in that particular sentence. Well, let's look who's on the podium. Jamie. Drew. And Abigail. Abby. Good job. Emma and Inez are runners up. Again, remember, it was not about how many or how, if you got on the podium or not, it was about how many you got correct. That gives you more bonus points. What?
I like testing steroids.
Academic steroid? Like, no, we're not gonna do that. So, Jamie, did you miss any questions? Oh, so close. I've never had anyone get every question on a Kahoot. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. So that is all we're gonna do today. Before you run away, a couple of things to remember. Your annotated bibliography is due on Friday. If you haven't done that, please turn that in. We haven't completed that yet. Work on that. We will have class Friday. It will be your exam. Come in, find the test with your name on it, complete it, and then you're free to go after that. If you will not be here Friday for whatever reason, I don't care what reason. I don't care if you just don't want to get up at 8:30 in the morning on Friday. If you don't want to be here on Friday to take your exam on Friday, find me today before 4 o'clock. I will be upstairs somewhere and you can take it today. Okay? Sound good? Get out of here and enjoy the freezing weather, I guess.
I'm gonna be here Friday, but no, I think I'm gonna be here Friday because my flight is at 4.
Okay.
So it's morning time, so I'm gonna.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'll be here either way. So.
James, you got a book? James, you got a book? You got a book?
Yeah.
May I have chapter 8?
It's not good today. It's not good. It's not good.
Mm.
Oh, I know.